Let's get right into it. Number 4, child labor. Back in the day, if you were 5 years old and full of energy, you didn't go to kindergarten. You went to the coal mine. Child labor wasn't illegal. It was the business model. Parents sent their kids to factories like they were sending them to summer camp, except, without the camp or the summer or the joy. Some of these kids worked 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. You ever met a 7-year-old? These kids had the attention span of squirrels and were operating death machines. No gloves, no helmets, no bathroom breaks. If you lost a finger, they gave you half pay for having half a hand. And don't think it was just boys. Girls were out there too, in textile mills, making thread while inhaling enough cotton dust to become walking pillows. And when kids weren't working, they were sleeping on floors or sharing beds with like 8 other people. You didn't have a nightlight, you had a rat. Why did no one stop it? Well, technically they did pass child labor laws and then immediately ignored them. It wasn't until the 1900s, like 1904 and beyond, that people were like, wait, maybe kids should be doing math homework, not manual labor. Even then, progress was slow. One politician actually said, if we ban child labor, who's going to clean my chimney? That wasn't a joke. That was policy. So the next time you complain about your homework or your 9 to 5, remember you could have been crawling under looms for $1 a week and a complimentary case of black lung. Number 3, once upon a time, if you had a cough, you didn't grab a lozenge, you grabbed heroin. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, cocaine and heroin were the Starbucks of medicine. You could find them in cough syrup, toothache gel, and even tonics that claimed to cure basically everything. Doctors were like, feeling sad? Have some cocaine? Stubbed your toe? That's a morphine moment. Your baby won't stop crying? Boom. Heroin pacifier. Even Coca-Cola used to have actual cocaine in it. The original slogan could have been, open happiness and mild hallucinations. And no one was freaking out. This was normal. Parents were casually spooning narcotics into their kids like it was applesauce. Then surprise, people started dying, or getting super addicted. So eventually the government went, wait, should we maybe regulate this? And doctors were like, oh yeah, that makes sense now. So they banned heroin, then morphine, then cocaine. But the damage was already done. And now we live in a world where giving a kid soda is considered a parenting crime. Moral of the story? If you think modern medicine is sketchy, at least your pharmacist doesn't offer complimentary cocaine samples at checkout. Number 2, arsenic in makeup. Want flawless skin? Radiant beauty? A glowing, pale complexion that screams upper class? In the 1800s, there was one solution. Just poison yourself. That's right, arsenic. The same stuff used to kill rats, royals, and basically anyone in a Shakespeare play. People were rubbing it directly onto their face. Why? Because back then, being ghost-level pale was considered hot. The less blood you looked like you had, the more attractive you were. And don't think this was just a little arsenic. They layered that stuff like it was foundation from the underworld. Side effects? Just some mild symptoms, like nausea, hair loss, rotting teeth, slow internal organ failure, and, oh yeah, death. Imagine going on a date like, hey, what's that scent? Oh, just decay number. Even when people started dying, they didn't stop using it. They just thought the makeup was cursed. Not poisonous, cursed. Eventually, doctors were like, hey, what if pale doesn't have to mean near death? And by the 20th century, the arsenic glow-up finally fell out of fashion. So next time someone says beauty is pain, just be glad your face routine doesn't include rat poison and denial. Number 1, dueling to the death. Welcome to the elegant tradition of dueling history's classiest way to commit mutual murder. Here's how it worked. You get insulted. You get mad. You write a strongly worded letter that ends with, meet me at sunrise. Bring a gun. Then both of you bring a friend, known as a second, whose job was to either calm things down or say, yep, seems fair. Go ahead and fire. And this wasn't just for kings and warlords. Regular dudes were doing this. Politicians, poets, even Alexander Hamilton went out this way. The goal? Restore honor. Because apparently, nothing screams dignity like getting ventilated in a cornfield. And believe it or not, these things had rules. No headshots. Pace off 10 steps. Shoot only when the referee says, go. It was basically a gentleman's deathmatch bracket. But eventually, society realized that solving arguments with live ammo might not be sustainable. So governments started banning duels. Naturally, people ignored that. It wasn't until the late 1800s that dueling actually stopped being cool. And by then, thousands of people had been shot, all because someone said their wig looked weird. So the next time you argue with someone in the comments, just be glad you don't need to wake up at 6 a.m. to die for your tweet. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.